Evening, guys. So, welcome to a little something different. The part of the mechanical fault finding and troubleshooting that you guys don't actually see, and the amount of things that we go through to fix a car, basically. But in my case, I film everything. So, we do a start, a during, and a completion video. So, I just want to show you guys how many completion videos I made. Just when I thought I was done, she kicks me in the balls again. And that's the car. A little 1.4 Corsa that I literally went through the entire thing. Aside from ripping out the fucking dashboard. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear in here. But okay, let's see what happens with the algorithm. But yeah, let's show you a side of things that people don't normally show you because they would normally edit that out. They don't want people to see that because the amount of time they have to go through the same fault finding constantly and constantly and constantly. So yeah, welcome to something new that I'm experimenting on this platform because I'm new to this platform. I've posted on this platform, but I'm not familiar with the algorithm based on what you can and cannot do on this platform. So do me a favor when you see the video, click like at the beginning. I would just like to find out what the algorithm does, and feel free to leave questions in the comments. I do answer them. I have no clue how to make reply videos on this platform, but I'm used to doing it on TikTok. But let's see. I'll maybe take a attempt to take out a comment and then answer it for you guys as well. But as it is, without inspecting the vehicle, you can't really give a definite answer. You are just guesstimating. That's all that is. But yeah, enjoy my I think I'm done moment, and then watch my own heart just fucking drop to the ground, because then I'm not done. Then I'm just have to start from over again and again and again and again. You get the picture. This is a video reference. I was suspecting the brake booster was leaking because the idling used to run to 2000 and upwards. Now she's idling and kind of stable. As you can see, she's not stable yet. But this is a video reference. She idles, she revs up perfectly fine. So what we're gonna check now is if I put the pipe back, if the razor gonna jump up again to 2000 and something like that, because now she's stable. Kailan ko ni kaya trap doon brake? Kailan ko ni kaya trap doon ni brake ko brake? Ito ni Dora akong taata trap, ito starts net. Nou, hij moet eigenlijk een beetje klimmen en dan weer zak. Maar dit 2000 niet. Is dat right? Oké. Hij gaat wasser raak. En als hij vacuum ligt. Come on, maak weer eens toe. Hij reeft zijn niet de kar hoor. Hij kan een vacuum ligt hoor, hij binnen die kar. Kata dua. Ha? Saya man ay fine footage kan liya, woman. But saya kom aangetrek het hoe guy. Want nou zijn we ons idle het, Amerika de revemos. But now idle het stable. En avond het gedoen het was hy pipe uitgehaal. Gestaat. Dus het fine. Dus zelfs gewoon naar die timing. Een tan.
fucking responsive. Maar dan gaat sy bly stable genoeg om aan die lewe te bly as hy ry ook. Hy sê 'n question. Daarom wil ek 'n test gedoen op hy om te check as hy niks helix is, niks. Booster. Ek weet weer hy gaan check net so nie. Nee, eindelijk he. Hij was binnen hij ding doen. Dus hij wat binnen bij de pedal moet doen. Het is stable. Maar ook niet. Het is een beetje laag voor... Dit is 800 en 900. Dus hij moet niet gaan rambelen. The old ECU is lying over there. It's been opened already. It's been scratched on. So I can't trust it. So yeah, I changed the ECU to another 14 NE. I changed the loom. And I'm still kind of doing fault finding. The car's still very rich. I can smell it. It's burning my nose. And that's the car idling with the brake booster pipe. It's blocked off on the inside there. So now she idles stable, she revs up stable. She self-rectifies. Or not. As the idle well. I got one faulty idle valve, that's not OEM. The other one is gone mental on me. I'm gonna show you all of these little videos I keep making. But she's idling, she's not stable though. That rattling sound you're hearing is coming from the gearbox. If I step on a clutch and that rattling is gone. But the surging is something new. It didn't surge like that, but that's something new. So let's just step on the clutch quickly, just to confirm the noise. I'm gonna keep you outside so you can still hear it. You hear that? Gone. So when your foot goes on the clutch, it means the bearing's in the box. It's not an original idle valve and that's why it's acting up like it. Yeah, the rattling is back. Rattling gone. And there it's back. That's what you call a little bit of wear on the bearings in the box. That's me pumping the brakes and no change in idling. But if I do basically put the brake booster pipe back and I step on the brakes, the revs go to 3000. I'm gonna switch the car off and restart this thing. Battery reset type of thing. So I'm documenting all of this. So give it a second. Now it's doing that. It's trying to stabilize itself, but it's working too hard. And there it goes, sky high again. Let me reset this shit again. Every fucking time I think I sorted it, And it starts doing something stupid again. Not ECU related, not loom related, not earth related. O zit er nog een aan? Waar hij earth linkage zit zeggen? Hij earth strip. Dus maak hij ding vast aan bij de keybox als een bracket zit daaronder nog. Just because. Daar gaan we weer mal. For no reason. For no apparent reason. And that is after some manipulation, as you can. And there it goes again. The idle valve's not plugged in. You shouldn't be doing this at all. You've got a brake booster leak, but that's blanked off there. You blocked it off. There's no other vacuum leaks in the car. We've checked it, double and quadruple checked it. And yet she's still acting funny. And the idling goes to the exact same. Okay, it's just below that now. See, that's the weirdest. Why would it rectify if it's not rectifying? I know I was stuck open, at least on a certain level. The idling shouldn't be fluctuating at all. Okay, now she's stable for a little bit. Not really, but more stable. So yeah. So there's the amount of testing and things you have to go through to find electrical faults, vacuum leaks, a lot of other things actually. But yeah, for now she's idling. She's just under 1. Fans are on already. She's at temp. This is actually on 1 and that fluctuates just under 1 and 1. See there? That's 900. Which fluctuates up to almost 1,000. So every time I let her idle long, and then she shows me a different something again. But now she's a lot more stable than what she was. I actually met her like this, with this fluctuation. But I don't know, because I've had an auto. Hold on, let me pause you guys. Stop. I can't flip it when I pause it. I've had an auto in Rondebosch. He stayed right there, close to Woolworths. The small Woolworths Foods. He explained to me he had to basically pull the entire car apart once in the entire dashboard to replace one wire behind the dashboard. So I think this is the same issues I'm having here. The voltage drops within inside the vehicle. That also runs to the ECU. There's a lot of connectors that runs this way and then around to the engine. So I will check the plugs on the left side of the vehicle. There's a set of connectors for the dashboard, and that's also extra earth for the vehicle that runs in the vehicle and outside the vehicle. I've already checked all of that, but I haven't gone as far as to going into the separate loom that's behind the dashboard. I'm not an auto, but I've had this issue before. We're talking about 8 or 9 years ago. I took the car to him and he had to pull the entire dashboard out to source one wire that he couldn't trace, a break in the wire. I've tried tracing most of these things, they ring out fine. But if there's a break in the wire where it's just hanging on certain strands, you won't pick it up because it's still ringing out as normal, but it won't tell you the voltage drop and stuff. Is idling stable? Kinda. I'm not happy with the idling because it drops and comes up and you can hear that. But yeah, the cars don't normally leave like this, but this is how I got her. I would have liked it to be better, so I changed the engine harness, I changed the ECU. We did the motor a few months ago. The motor is 100%, she pushes out like a power. But now the issue we're having is the way she's operating. When she's stable, for about, let's say, 40 seconds. And after the 40 seconds, she's does this. When the fan goes on, she's stable. When the fan deactivates, so she fluctuates again. So I'm not sure if that's too much voltage or too little, but the alternator charges at 13.9. 13.90. So she's charging where she should be charging. That is a aftermarket charger though. Alternator is aftermarket, it's not factory or GM. So I don't know if that's also affecting things, because she bought the car with that on there already. She's no longer refueling. She still spits out water now. She's stable again. But before this she was extremely rich. I got a test drive her again now. And yeah, the voltage is dropping, the revs is dropping. The fan's on. So now she's stable again. When the fan goes off, that's when she fluctuates up and down, up and down. But yeah, there's an entire separate video coming about the cam setup, the cam I bought for this car. That cam was a problem, and I tell you, that wasn't cheap. Aftermarket cam. There's only one particular cam that I've used over the years, and that is the UK brand hardened steel cam. But they're charging almost 2.5k for that cams now, which is becoming ridiculous for an aftermarket. And I might as well just source a OEM engine and just steal the bloody cam out of there, or just get a second-hand cam somewhere that's OEM to the vehicle. But yeah, I'm gonna do an entire video on the basis of what I found with that cam. It gave me about 3 different outcomes, but just changing one thing. So yeah, watch out for that one. I'm doing a test drive because when I pulled her out now, she died on me. And now she's operating okay. Clutch is a bit high though. It's a lady's car, so I'm not gonna set it lower. It's third gear. Operates okay again. What I'm not doing is I'm test driving to see if she's gonna cut out. Yes, I'm a little low on brakes because the brake boost is not plugged in. Brake boost is not plugged in. At least the vacuum pipe to create the vacuum, it's blocked off. So if I plug it in the vehicle, overfuels. That's the giant vacuum if the brake boost is broken. Kan nie so staan. So now on this particular vehicle, I had way too many factors playing against me. A faulty OEM idle valve. I had a faulty cold start issue. I had a faulty ECU issue. I had a non-functional brake booster issue. I had vacuum leak issues. I had quite a bit of electrical issues. So yeah, engine sorted, ECU is 100%. Double checked it. Throw it in my car for about 2 days. Fuel consumption is fuck. Car starts, drives perfectly, idles perfectly, revs up perfectly, goes all the way into cutout. Checked it all. Checked the ECU, checked the loom. Had that loom in my own vehicle for 1 day. Put it back into the client's vehicle. Remember, I replaced that loom as well. I replaced the ECU as well. I replaced
all of the sensors on the vehicle as well. I have the same vehicle, my daughter's got the same vehicle, so there is test items I can pull off to do fault finding. At least I'll have an idea of what you're going to purchase. And yes, I also have some spare parts. I have cold starts laying at home and at the workshop. I've got a loom and a spare ECU at the workshop as test items. So I always have map sensors for these cars because I have to have spares for my own vehicles. All my backup spares are all spray painted red or yellow, so that is reference items, meaning it's only test items and nothing else. It was built, designed for testing. I have one idle valve designed just to idle at normal temperature and one for cold start. Yes, to some people it doesn't make sense, but to me it does, because one works perfectly on cold start, the other one does not. Weirdly enough, they both work, but one doesn't cold start in the morning, the other one cold starts perfectly. It also idles, but I mean morning start. That's why one is labeled red and yellow. That's both functions, and one is only has one function. So when the car's at temp, I'm going to switch out the idle valve and then still start the vehicle to do testing, but also make sure to put the client stuff back. So if they don't have the budget to buy certain items in South Africa right now, these items are extremely scarce. For you to get OEM components, you need to walk into a engine importer's place to actually go and buy them, or you got to pay about 10 times the amount at the agents or the dealerships here in South Africa. So yeah, the stuff is way overpriced because these vehicles are now 20, 25 to even 30 years old already, so therefore their parts are no longer manufactured. You do find them still because they still fit these idle valves on LS engines, but in general they are difficult to find right now in South Africa because there is a lot of cars, but they are scarce. So if there's accidents vehicles, then we can buy them, but further on they're extremely scarce. So we got to use the resources we have and the parts we can find at the time. That's unfortunately for South Africans. These items can range anywhere from 1,500 up to 3,500. That's just an idle valve. GPSs can run anywhere from 250 Rand to about 500 Rand. That's second hand, that's not new. I don't really recommend throwing new components onto these cars because the Chinese stuff they make now are ridiculous. They really don't work. It's just a colossal waste of money. Yeah, if you want a quick fix, it's fine, but not recommended for the daily. But as you guys can see, the vehicle did go home today. I did ask you to keep me informed about what the car is doing. It idles, but it still fluctuates. And then once the vehicle's warm, because of the gearbox's bearings, that's creating a resistance, and that is basically when you come off of a rev and your foot's on the clutch, she actually drops a little too far down. But once you touch the brakes again on the booster, I replaced the booster. Once you put your foot on the booster again, the revs to stabilize again. So I did explain to her, when you put on the clutch, just touch the brakes, the idle will stabilize. But I did follow her for a little bit because she did go and throw fuel in after I did 4 days of testing. She knows how to drive a vehicle. She almost drives like me. She's not afraid to put her foot hard down. The car's not lazy. The only issue is the irritation, the mere fact that if you don't feed when you pull out the clutch, it will die on you, like normal clutch control. But normally the car will be a little bit more aggressive, so it allows you to clutch control slightly before you actually feed. This one doesn't allow that. That's only when it's at temp. Now remember when I said in this video, when the fans go on, this car operates perfect, which I don't understand. Normally it would malfunction when the fans activate because it's drawing current, but in this case it's stabilizing the vehicle when the fans go on, which is the normal fan on the outside and not the blower motor, which is the weirdest bloody part. I've changed 3 cold starts on this car, all OEM, and they all do the exact same thing. So yeah, I hope this is helpful for some people that's going to encounter the weirdest goddamn gremlins on these vehicles ever. The main focus of my YouTube channel is to dump all these things on here. Other thing, to get the idling correct, I had to manipulate the idle valve and the flap, meaning the adjustment screw at the bottom. I had to plug in a scan tool to get it exactly at 14 degrees. That's for the TPS registration. So it normally would lay at 14 degrees. So the moment you put the ignition on, the TPS can pull out, it's not the TPS, the idle valve can pull out a certain degree for allow it to cold start, or at least on startup of the cold start. So 14 degrees, even 7 degrees, even anywhere between 7 and 14 degrees, it's where its default is for the ECU to actually register that the flaps laying at a closed position. Now once it's done it a few times, these are self-learning ECUs as well, so it will learn to start on that point if you do start it more than once. So if you've done it thrice, the ECU has learned that it's laying at 14 or 7 or 9 or 10. Anything higher than that is going to be a problem. The vehicle's going to throw too much fuel immediately. So yeah, I hope this video is not too long and not too much explanations for you guys to understand. But yeah, as I encounter weird issues, that is what I'm going to dump on TikTok. Sorry, YouTube. TikTok. I've been so long on TikTok, it's part of my brain already. I'm trying to deprogram myself from that platform now. But yeah, as I get weird issues, I'll dump them on YouTube, and that will also be a reference for me to go back to whenever I had or have issues. I will make the cam video very soon. It's also part of the same video, which I also dumped in here, but I will go a little bit more into detail what I found with the cam. Starts up fine, drives perfectly fine. The first day it was in, it was perfect, and then afterwards I noticed that it was lobes aren't correct. They are almost spot on, but they are not correct. So whoever copied that cam didn't do it correctly. Basically all of them threw severe amounts of carbon. Either the keyway for the gear on top is not in its right position, because I had to change the timing thrice. A tooth behind on TDC and a tooth before, and they all showed me exactly the same results. This was me troubleshooting on the basis of that cam, an aftermarket cam. If I don't find my regular base or my regular cams, I unfortunately have to experiment and find a cam that works. That one does not work. I literally had to throw that cam in half. They do not take back cams that was bought that's aftermarket. So I can't use it on another vehicle. So I had to throw that thing on the bloody floor and snap it in half. It's disappointing sometimes when you shop around, and unfortunately sometimes it has to happen on a client's car. And then the inconvenience as well, because you're inconveniencing that client with it. And then you have to go and buy another cam and replace it. So this made my problems a lot less. The car has full power now. She's no longer overfueling, and the idling is a bit better. Like I said, I met this lady with the car idling the way it did, and when I met her, I tried to correct that idling, but it still just fluctuates in between 800 and 1000, 1.1. If you adjust it any lower, it just dies. If you adjust it any higher, it just goes to 2000, and that's with the OEM components as well. So yeah, this had me baffled, because these cars are basic, they are simple, they are not very complicated. So to have a problem like this one, for someone like me that deals with about 5 or 6 cars, that I push out 5 to 6 cars a day, that's troubleshooting. And then to have one vehicle really kick you in the ass and have you busy for an entire week on one car, it defeats you at the end of the day. but you still gotta overcome those vehicles. You still gotta get to the bottom of it so you can, if you do encounter it again, which I almost don't. I get that once and then I don't see it again for 10 years, which is a problem because you tend to forget. And that is why we throw it on social media so you can go back to your own reference points or at least help somebody else. I still didn't get to the root of the fluctuation, but the car's operating better, the fuel consumption is better, the power is much better. But as it is, I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I like vehicles to be stable. I like them to be reliable when they leave. I don't want the client to have the uncertainty. So if I'm uncertain, I don't want to send your car like that. It's supposed to be like that. But unfortunately, I deal with fuck ups. That's my specialty. It's not even Opels anymore. It's just fuck ups. That's what I do. So yeah, welcome to my world. I hope you guys enjoy what I put out here, and I hope this can help you achieve or complete a job. Like I say, this platform is literally just meant for colossal fuck ups. That's what I want to post on this platform.